My name is Sara. I'm 28 years old, and until a year ago, I thought betrayal came from strangers, from people outside your bloodline, from enemies who circled you like wolves. I never imagined the knife would come from my own mother's hands. But now, when I look back, I realize the warning signs had been there all along, buried in the cracks of every family gathering, hidden beneath the polite smiles that never quite reached her eyes when they turned on me. It started with the wedding. My cousin Emily's wedding. The golden girl of the family, the one who could do no wrong. She was the daughter my mother wished she had, wrapped in lace and applause, while I had always been the shadow, too quiet, too blunt, too different. One evening, while sipping tea at the kitchen table, my mom told me casually, like she was discussing the weather, that Emily's invitations had gone out. I looked up, confused. I didn't get one. She didn't even flinch. Didn't blink. She stirred her tea slowly, deliberately, the clink of the spoon against porcelain sounding like a countdown to an execution. "You're not invited, Sara," she said. Just like that. No hesitation, no softness. A blade, clean through my chest. My throat went dry. "What do you mean I'm not invited? I'm her cousin. I'm family." Her eyes finally met mine. Cold, sharp, dissecting me as though I were a specimen pinned under glass. "Because you'll ruin her day." That's what Emily said. "You'd find a way to draw attention, to make it about you, like you always do." I felt the floor tilt beneath me. I don't make things about me." Why would she say that? Her lips curved into a thin, satisfied smile. "Maybe because it's true." In that moment, something inside me cracked. Not the fragile crack of porcelain, but the deep, shattering crack of stone. My mother, my own mother, had chosen to side with everyone else instead of me. She'd always made me feel less than, but this was different. This was exile. I didn't cry. Not in front of her. I excused myself, locked the bathroom door, and stared at my reflection. My face looked foreign, hollow eyes, trembling lips. I pressed my hands against the sink, whispering to myself, "They want me invisible. They want me erased." But I wasn't going to let them win. The weeks leading up to the wedding were torture. Social media was a constant parade of rehearsal dinners, dress fittings, champagne glasses clinking under chandeliers. And there I was, scrolling, unseen, unwanted, like a ghost haunting my own bloodline. My phone buzzed one night. A text from my younger brother, Jake. "Don't take it personally, Sara. Mom says it's for the best. You'd just make Emily uncomfortable." My own brother. Another knife. I didn't reply. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every humiliation my family had fed me over the years. Every time I was told to keep quiet, to dim my light, to let Emily shine. Every time my mom compared me to her, Emily the beauty, Emily the star, Emily the bride-to-be. And I decided, that night, that if I wasn't allowed to attend, I would find a way to be there anyway. Not as a guest. Not as family. But as the reckoning they never saw coming. The day of the wedding arrived. The sky was cruelly perfect, clear blue, golden sunlight spilling across manicured lawns. The venue was a sprawling country estate, white roses climbing over trellises, violins humming softly as guests arrived in their pastel dresses and polished suits. I wasn't on the guest list. I didn't need to be. I had already arranged everything. I parked a few streets away, slipped into the black dress I'd bought weeks before. Not a party dress. Not lace or silk. This was something darker, sharper, hugging me like armor. I pinned my hair back, applied lipstick the color of dried blood, and looked at myself in the rearview mirror. For the first time in years, I didn't see the forgotten cousin, the invisible daughter. I saw someone dangerous. I walked through the back entrance like I belonged there. The staff were too busy to notice me, waiters balancing champagne flutes, florists adjusting last-minute arrangements. I moved through the chaos silently, a shadow with a mission. The ceremony began. Guests sat in neat rows, the air thick with perfume and expectation. Emily floated down the aisle in her gown, glowing, radiant, every camera capturing her smile. My mother was in the front row, her face shining with pride, not for me, never for me, but for her. I watched from the back, hidden behind a pillar. My hand shook, but not with fear, with rage. Boiling, electric rage. The vows began. Sweet promises whispered beneath the vaulted arch, words that sounded like fairy tales. And that's when I made my move. I didn't storm the aisle. I didn't shout objections. That would have been too easy, too obvious. Revenge, I'd realized, wasn't about noise. It was about silence that cuts deeper than screams. During the reception, as guests spilled into the ballroom, laughter bouncing off crystal chandeliers, I slipped into the bridal suite. Emily's phone was there, charging on the vanity. I knew her passcode, it was her birthday. Within seconds, I was inside. And there it was. A trail of messages. Dozens of them. From someone who wasn't her husband. My chest tightened as I scrolled through them, photos, videos, words dripping with passion. Evidence of an affair she had kept hidden while parading in white lace. My fingers trembled as I transferred everything to a USB drive I carried in my purse. Insurance. Proof. Justice. The reception roared outside. Toasts were being made, glasses raised. I walked calmly to the DJ's booth, leaned in, and handed him the drive. "Play this," I whispered. "Now." He looked at me, confused. "What is it?" "Just do it," I said, and for some reason, he did. The screens around the ballroom flickered. Laughter died down. Music cut out. And then images appeared. Emily. In bed. With someone else. Her voice, breathless, moaning words no groom should ever hear. The room erupted. Gasps, shouts, broken glass. The groom stood frozen, his face drained of all color, as his bride's betrayal played out before hundreds of witnesses. Emily screamed, lunging for the screens, but it was too late. The damage was done. I stood in the back, unseen, watching the empire of lies collapse in real time. Watching my mother's face contort from pride to horror, her perfect daughter's crown shattering into dust. Emily sobbed, mascara streaking down her cheeks, as the groom tore off his ring and threw it at her feet. Guests whispered, phones filmed, reputations burned. And me? I smiled. Not a wild smile. Not gloating. Just calm. Like justice finally had a face, and it was mine. I slipped out quietly, disappearing into the night while chaos swallowed the ballroom whole. No one saw me leave. No one knew it was me. But when my phone buzzed later, a message from my mother flashing on the screen, I knew she suspected. "What did you do, Sara?" I typed back slowly, savoring every word. "I didn't ruin her day, Mom. She ruined it herself. I just made sure everyone saw the truth." I put my phone down and stared out at the dark sky, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Not anger. Not pain. Power. For once, I wasn't invisible. For once, I wasn't the shadow. I was the storm that swept through their perfect little world and left them trembling in the ruins. And deep down, I knew this was only the beginning.